Is there anything I can do, sir? Please. Don't do this to my wife, man. You don't know what you're doing to my family, man. Please. I'm begging you. I'm literally where am I going to put my feet? Sir, I'm begging you. Please. Please. Please.
That is not a crime, and you're telling me to get out of my vehicle.
Do you know where Lieutenant Mingus is right now? So, no, he's not in the building?
I don't know. I'm not.
What do you know? I'm not telling you nothing else until I find out who's driving that vehicle. You're not a supervisor, bro. I need somebody higher than you right now.
If you didn't know, I went to the police academy and they kicked me out.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Spit me on my face right now. She spit in my face.
Today's video is going to take us to lovely, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, but we're nowhere near the glittering strip. Oh no, we're going to stop at the Clark County Detention Center, where we're going to listen to our good friend, well, don't let me overdo that, Chille de Castro. He's all excited because his bond hearing is tomorrow. Let's all sit back, watch, have a good laugh, and most of all, enjoy!
I got a call from Chille saying that he's getting some insider information that this guy named Colin, we're hearing from sources that this Colin guy may have used this funding site called Spot to present himself as Chille to get these donations right here. One of those, and Sean, if you're out here, let me increase the screen right here. This is really serious because this Sean gave $4,135 to Project Constitution, which is not Chille.
Oh, now that's great. Somebody out there impersonating Chille, and some yahoo makes $4,100 donation. Of course, this could be all fake. You never know about any of this stuff. But somebody has $4 grand to drop on this yahoo. Looking at this yahoo, you'd give him $4 grand? Really? Well, that's enough of that nonsense, and I covered all the names, and I took out the last names, just so nobody gets butthurt and claims Dr. Dave's trying to dox them. Hey, let's listen to Chille talk from the dungeon, because tomorrow, Wednesday, April 10th, 2024, is his big day. It's his bond hearing for his appeal, so he can be out of jail while he appeals. I hope it doesn't work. But let's take a look and give a listen. Roll that clip.
You know, I think first and foremost, I have to let the guards at this facility know that this is not a live stream and this is not a third-party phone call. I'm a journalist giving a report to another journalist, which is clearly outlined and allowed in the CCDC handbook. Today is April 8th, 2024. My name is Chille de Castro. I am a journalist who has been jailed for filming a cop. I did have a good day in court, and I was sentenced to 6 months in jail. I have not broken the law. I've committed no criminal or malicious acts. I'm an innocent man in the Clark County Detention Center for being a journalist. So with that being said, what's upcoming right now on Wednesday, the 10th of April, is an appeal bond hearing to see if I can be released on appeal while I appeal the case to the Nevada State Supreme Court. I think that the case most definitely will be overturned. As you have seen, Brian from Here's the Deal has broken down my video evidence, and I definitely backed up. I'm not guilty of obstruction, but I wanted to talk today about the reasons why I should be released on appeal bond. So I wrote down 15 reasons, and I'll just list them to you guys so that you guys can have an understanding of what my lawyer is going to argue on Wednesday. Remember, this is not re-adjudicating the case about whether or not I backed up or whether or not I obstructed. This is about whether or not I'm worthy to be released on an appeal bond while my case is being appealed. And that appeal bond is going to cost between $10,000 and $20,000.
And here's the sad thing, folks. This guy has at least 3 GoFundMe accounts. Now, the one he just started, it's only got a few donations. But from previously, he had one with over $20,000 in it. Now, I see he has one, and look at it. It is $22,000, so he's got $42,000 plus, and he's still asking for money. That guy is a grifter and a scammer, but if people are stupid enough to donate to him, I don't care because it's not my money.
So, uh, as humbly as I can ask, please go to my GoFundMe, and if you can put in $5 or $10, I really appreciate it because my website was down all week for 7 days now, so I haven't sold any products. I'm going to lower the hoodies to $50. You can get them by using PayPal. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough money for the appeal bond that I'm going to get on Wednesday. And here are the reasons why I should get that appeal bond. Number one, I have no criminal record. This is a first-time offense. There's no criminality in my past, so that's the first one. Number two, on this case, there's no victim. There's no damages. There's no restitution due. Number three, I've been jailed for almost a month, and there is no victim of a crime. I'm a journalist. So number four, my specific job is to be a First Amendment auditor. I do on-the-street reporting. I have regular face-to-face interactions with police, so they're going to call it police touches. Well, I have them week in and week out. Number five, I had 6 full-time employees, and now I have 5. I had to let one go last week, and I'll have to let another one go this week if my website doesn't get back online. So my life and my company and my business should not be destroyed over a first-time misdemeanor. Number 6, the DA asked for a suspended sentence because I have no criminal record, and this is a first-time offense. Number 7, I have no history of violence in my past of any kind ever. There's been no 911 calls on me. There's been no hospital bills. I've never hurt anybody ever. Number 8, my entire family lives here in Las Vegas. I have deep ties to the community where I also assist in coaching youth wrestlers. Number 9, as a First Amendment auditor, I have over 500 face-to-face interactions with police in over 20 states.
This is what happens when you act like a cocky jackwagon that you are. Yeah, you went in there and, oh, yeah, you called everybody a pig and you disrespected the judge. And this is what happens, man. This is what happens. Of course, the judge said she didn't sentence you because of that. She sentenced you because of your jackwagon antics with the police. And we've seen that many times. I've seen at least a half a dozen videos where you acted like a jackwagon. So you're in the right spot, sonny boy. Learn. Learn from your mistakes, sweetheart.
So this is what I do. Number 10, I have a warrant in Ohio for trespassing during a peaceful protest. However, I ran out of money when in Ohio. I had to leave and come back to Vegas. However, I've hired an attorney in Ohio, and we're finally getting that warrant in Ohio handled. Number 11, I have a hearing coming in Good Springs, Nevada, for a U-turn ticket. The ticket was a retaliatory ticket after I pulled over to discuss First Amendment rights with the police. I've already paid the fee to fight the ticket that happens on April 23rd. Not a criminal act, it's a U-turn ticket. But the DA brought it up, so I want to reference it. Number 12, I have an audience of millions of people who I regularly teach to be nonviolent and to flex our First Amendment right to assembly, speech, petition, and press. And number 13, I am innocent until proven guilty because I have another upcoming case on May 1st in Las Vegas for obstructing, and I'm not guilty of that case just because I've been charged. They brought it up as though, oh, he has another case coming up. Well, I'm innocent until proven guilty, so it doesn't matter if I've been charged with something. I've been charged with things lots of times in my life, but I don't have a criminal record besides when I was a teenager. So those are the reasons why I believe that the appeal bond should be approved on Wednesday at 9 a.m. in the Justice Court in front of Judge Levitt.
That's one of the great things about America. Innocent until proven guilty. However, we have people who languish in jail for up to 2 years before they get a hearing. Yeah, our speedy trial doesn't work so well here in America because our courts are backed up with yahoos like you. Oh, did I say yahoo? I probably should have said Peckerwood. Yeah, because that's what you are, Chille. You belong to the Peckerwood gang now in jail, huh? Yeah, I bet they love you a long time, don't they, sweetheart? Let's carry on.
So I was put in the hole for live streaming a phone call with another journalist named Brian from Here's the Deal. And it doesn't say in the CCDC handbook that there's no live streaming. It says no third-party calls, and it says no misuse of the phone. But I'm not a psychic reader, and with all respect to the guards and to the staff here, you can't expect me to be a psychic and know that I can't live stream a call. Well, when I was put in the hole for 7 days, I only served 5, and then the hole got too full, so they let me out. And then they suspended my commissary for 7 days. If you want to do anything for me, please donate to my GoFundMe or my PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle or Venmo, because when we get that appeal bond on Wednesday, it's probably going to be $20,000. And I don't know how long those GoFundMes take to cash out. I don't know, but I'm just absolute. My anxiety, is, if I don't win that appeal bond, if we don't win the appeal bond on Wednesday, then I'll be in jail until July, until the Nevada State Supreme Court hears the case or until the writ of habeas corpus is fully heard. So I'm very, very nervous. And if you want to do anything, please just donate $5 or $10. If, whatever you have to donate if you can. And I know you guys have put in so much. I know that there's literally thousands and thousands of people rooting for me. And I'm nervous. I'm definitely nervous. I'm not sleeping very much. I'm sleeping, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, and I keep waking up dreaming that my appeal bond went one way or the other, and I keep dreaming about my dog. And a very special friend to me gave me a quote the other day, and they said, from Nelson Mandela, when I left that jail, I left behind all the bitterness, resentment, anger right there at those jail doors, because if I had not left them behind there, I would still be in prison today.
I wonder what Chille does when he has to take a shower. I don't know, perhaps they've gotten a little more humane in jail now. Maybe they have private showers or they shower one at a time. I don't know, man, because if you drop that soap, boy, Bubba gonna be on you like white on rice. How you like them apples, Chille de Castro? Chille, little Chille boy.
And that's my mentality as well. I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna leave all this behind. I'm gonna forgive, and I've needed to forgive some people for a long time because I was holding on to grudges, and I need to forgive some people, and I need to move forward, and I'm gonna forgive this, and I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna work on getting that NRS code removed that puts people who have misdemeanors in lockdown for 23 hours in a solitary confinement cell. You get a bunkmate, but it's hell. It's total hell. So that's what I'm going to work on getting done. And I'm going to work on positive change. And I'm going to leave this bitter anger and resentment behind right here at the doors. The moment they close behind me and I'm free again, I get to hold my dog and wrestle with my nephews and have dinner with my family. Yeah, there are a lot of people in here who have completely victimless crimes. There's a guy less than 25 feet away from me. He's 20 feet away from me. He got pulled over and he had a blunt. He had a blunt behind his ear. And when he got pulled over, he was completely sober, but they confiscated the blunt and they gave him a DUI, and he's in here for DUI. There are about 10 men in here for domestic violence, and I've asked all of them what happened, and some of them said she called 911 and I went to jail. A couple of them told me we got in a pushing match and she called 911 and I went to jail. One of them told me I smacked my wife. So I don't endorse smacking your wife, that's for damn sure. And then there are people in here who have misdemeanor cases that have been in here for weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't know what the cash cow system is here, but I do wonder, I'm sure Brian can find out the information. I wonder how much it is to put a person, a human being. I don't call these people inmates. I call these people humans. I wonder how much it is to put a human in a bed here in the Clark County Detention Center.
No, you're an inmate, Chille. You're an inmate now, and you will always be an inmate. You have been branded. You've been placed in jail. Look at you here in shackles. Before the world, standing there in shackles. What a pitiful sight. Is your mama still alive? She must be proud of her bouncing baby boy.
Yesterday in the Las Vegas Sun, there's a huge front page article that says the CCDC is not reporting deaths to the city council and to the commissioners like they're supposed to do. And there's no teeth to enforce the law that was passed at the legislature. So that's scary as hell. But I hope and pray that I can just survive this. Now, I've written out 25 pages by hand of my interpretation of segregation over incarceration, because we spend $49 billion a year on incarceration, and over 50% of people recidivate and come back to jail. Could you imagine sending your dog to a dog training school, and then it comes back and it bites even more people? And when people get out and they recidivate, what does that mean? That means that you, your family, your brother, your sister...
You have 1 minute left.
...is a victim of the person who recidivates. I don't know if that's the proper pronunciation, but you know what I'm talking about. So I wrote a 25-page essay on it yesterday on segregation over incarceration, and it's very in-depth. I'm going to publish the book when I get out of here. I've taken hundreds of perspectives that I think could make a system that doesn't have recidivation, where there's no more victims of crime, and that's my overall goal.
Now keep in mind, good people, if he gets sentenced to a crime, if he goes behind bars, I don't care if it's a misdemeanor or a felony, he's not allowed to profit from his time behind bars. So that book, man, if I have anything to do with it, it won't be published. Well, anyway, that was the end of the phone call. I will anxiously be awaiting tomorrow's court hearing. I hope that it's broadcast over that Nevada network. I believe that's going to be 11 a.m. my time. I'm in Eastern time zone. I believe that's Mountain time zone. If it's Pacific, it'll be 12 noon for me. Well, not to worry. We'll bring it to you. I'm sure there'll be several channels covering this. In the meantime, if you enjoy watching stupid people do stupid things on my channel, please subscribe. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot. Let's take a look at the court hearing Chille had, because I love that video. That's my favorite video. Roll that clip.
All right, Jose Castro, 23 CR 013015.
Good morning, Your Honor. Agnes Botello and Lynn Kay for the record. Good morning, State.
Good morning, Michael. Me on behalf of the defendant present with me this morning.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. DeCastro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
Are your phones open and I'll take one or you can exit.
I need Mr. DeCastro to empty all of his pockets.
What's that?
Empty your pockets
and give up your phones to the judge.
Okay.
I have to give you my phones?
Yeah.
My phones have to be completely off.
Yep. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So.
You already are.
Great.
You already are.
Awesome.
I'm not going to get into this guy though. I'll give him someone else. I'm
No,
not touching myself.
no, they're going to go to my marshal.
He's a pig.
Excuse me?
I said he's a pig.
Okay. So I'm not going to permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner. And if you don't want to apologize, I'm going to hold you in contempt.
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
No, you can apologize to, they've done nothing to you.
Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave me a directive for no reason and started telling me what to do.
Okay, well.
I have all the respect in the world for the court. I follow the rule of law all the time.
No, it is their job to maintain the safety and security of the courtroom.
I agree with you, Your Honor.
So if you want to speak like that in my courtroom, I'm going to hold you in contempt. And if I hold you in contempt, you're going to jail. That is not my wish. Okay?
I wish you would.
All right. So I need you to empty your pockets too. Suit pocket, pants pocket.
This is illegal. This is a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I don't have any recording devices on me. What are you talking about?
How about suit jacket?
I don't have anything on me. This is preposterous.
No, it's
This
not.
really is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Me, your phone too. Off.
They're recording everything.
They have a media request.
Right, and I'm not recording anything. Your guy here took my phone, so his phone's not on.
Right.
Just make sure. You can take the lawyer's phone too?
No, I'm not gonna take the lawyer's phone. He's an officer of the court. All right, do we have everybody's phones? Are they off? All right, good. All right.
So within the first couple of minutes here, Chille's managed to offend the judge, offend the police, and probably offend his mama. Yeah, Chille, you better watch it, because you'll be held in contempt of court. Well, it plays out even better than that. Let's keep rolling the clip.
All right, this is the time set for the trial of State of Nevada versus Jose De Castro, 23 CR 013015. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
How many witnesses do you have?
We anticipate one.
All right, is the defense ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I have your request to convert counsel to standby counsel. I'm going to deny that request. Either you represent him or he should have previously requested a Feretta canvas to represent himself. That I just consider that a delay tactic, so that request is denied. Are you ready to proceed? Otherwise, I'm assuming you are.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's stay.
And we're not going to listen to the entire proceeding. I'll put a link in the description box if you want to watch the entire thing for yourself. But look at the smart-ass look on Chille's face. Oh, he's real smug now. But about 90 minutes from now, he's not going to be so smug. Let's go ahead and jump ahead a bit.
1 hour later.
Your Honor, I call Jose De Castro.
Raise your right hand to be sworn by the clerk. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Mr. DeCastro, before you testify, I'm obligated to inform you that you have the right to testify in this proceeding, but you also have the right to remain silent, and should you choose to remain silent, I may not hold that against you in making my decision. Do you understand that?
I do.
And do you still wish to testify?
Yes, I do.
All right, please go ahead.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Can you give some insight into what that channel was about?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance?
Your Honor, the relevance is that we're presenting a First Amendment defense, and the defendant is a member of the press. There's different standards for First Amendment rulings where there is public policy at issue. He can give insight into that.
I'm going to allow it for a bit and see where it goes.
Yes, I do have I do have a YouTube channel, and the reason I have a YouTube channel is because of how many cops kill people every year, how many cops hurt, maim, torture, rape, and kill people every single year. It's such an epidemic that the rest of the world, I get thousands of emails saying, only in America does this happen. I started filming cops because when I was cheated in 2002.
Objection at this point, relevance.
Well, this is the reason I'm a member of the press.
This narrative.
So can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor. What type of films do you make for your YouTube channel?
I only film police in their official capacity. I'm known across the country and across the world.
Oh, you pompous twit. I'm known all over the world. Yeah, for being a jackwagon. No doubt about it. But let's listen in some more, shall we?
And why do you engage in that type of filming?
So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Mead, to direct your questions about the incident in question.
The reason I was filming this report that day?
Objection, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
there wasn't a question posed, so I'm not sure what he was saying.
Mr. DeCastro, on the dating question, why did you approach that vehicle?
I was filming that cop because that's what I do for a living. I am a member of the press, and I invoked my right to be press. I always invoke my right to be press within the first 10 seconds of engaging with police, and I have thousands of videos that prove this.
So this is how you make money?
This is not how specifically I make money. I make money from selling legal documents to people.
Okay, go ahead.
Now wait a minute, Chille. You want us to believe that you make your money from selling indestructible trifolds? According to Social Blade, you're making a shitload of money. Let's say those figures are way off and you only make 1/3 of that. That's still a sizable amount of money. But you want us to believe you make all your money from selling books and trifles online? Right, sonny boy. We were born at night, but it wasn't last night. How stupid do you think we are? And the judge is smarter than you.
Do you recall the officer telling you to back up?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do after he told you to back up?
I took a couple steps back. I just showed him that I was willing to back up a little bit. However, if I may, in Arizona, they created a 10-foot law.
Objection, relevance, we're not in Arizona, it's the state of Nevada.
So I'm gonna allow it because I think that goes to why he kept saying 10 feet in the video, even though I will take judicial notice that you're not in the state of Arizona, you're in the state of Nevada.
Well, a federal judge struck it down, Your Honor, and
Stop. Can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor. Approximately how many feet did you back up?
I backed up a foot or two. I was at least 10 feet away from that car that the driver was pulled over in.
And when you spoke to the driver, what did you say?
Just after she was okay. The reason I phoned police is because they abuse people so often.
Do you recall the officer telling you not to speak with the driver?
Yes.
And did you make any statements to the driver after that command was given?
Absolutely not.
Did the officer ever give you a specific distance to back up to?
No, he didn't.
If he did, would you have complied with that?
Sure.
Did you believe you were complying with the officer's commands?
100%. I also informed him I'm a member of the press, I'm a constitutional law scholar, that this is what I do.
Now, just so we're all on the same page here, let's take a quick look at what got Chille into trouble into the first place. Roll that brief clip.
Don't tell me what to do.
Please go that way.
Don't tell me what to do.
Then let's just
You're
start
not my
walking.
boss.
I'm giving you a lawful order. Let's start walking now. Let's go. We're going this way.
Are you going to put your hands on me now? Leave me
Let's
alone.
go. Come on. This way.
Well, don't touch me, dude.
I'm just standing
here.
I'm to where you need to go.
Are you guys going to surround me? Leave me alone.
I am escorting you to where
There's
you
no
need
reason
to
to
go.
do this. I'm not trying to fight anybody.
not
There's no
saying you're
victim
doing
here.
it.
There's no crime. You're just trying to dominate another person. Just leave me alone. Okay, I can leave, but you don't have to walk up on me.
Let's go. You haven't
So
left
what's
yet.
the emergency? Is there an
Because
emergency?
we-
Somebody's
dead,
sir. Is that enough emergency? Well, where are they at? Let's go. Where are they at? Where are they at? Are they right here? Let's go.
Do you recall the officer explaining to you why he decided to arrest you?
There's several parts to the reason why he said he was going to arrest me. He said he was going to arrest me because I wouldn't turn my head a certain direction. If I didn't turn and face the car with my head, that he would place me under arrest instead of just giving me a ticket.
Do you recall him explaining why he decided to detain you before he arrested you?
He decided to obtain me because he said I was obstructing, which, from my understanding, is a physical act where I would have to get in the way. He said that the driver deserved privacy. I believe my First Amendment rights are not up for feelings.
Did he explain to you that the basis of your detention was related primarily to the issue of privacy or the issue of you backing up?
Well, I think from the officer's testimony, we can see that he's scared of the driver, scared of me, scared of everything. They teach them to be afraid of everything. So I had 2 cameras out. It's identified as a member of the press. I'm sorry, repeat the question. I want to get it specific for the record.
Sure. The question was, did the officer explain to you that the basis of your detention was because of you not backing up or because of the privacy issue of the driver?
It was both. He said that, he told me to back up. I backed up a little bit. Then he said, she deserves privacy. And then I told him to go get in your car, little doggy, and write your ticket. And at that point, his face turned bead red, and his veins in his neck stuck out because we were over 20 feet away. And you had to holler to hear each other because the wind was probably 30 miles an hour.
Did you at any point attempt to hit any of the officers involved?
No, absolutely not.
Did you intentionally swat any of the officers?
Absolutely not. He was giving me unlawful commands. I should not have been detained after I identified as a member of the press. If he ever reached a hand out towards me, I wrestle and teach MMA and I have for 30 years. So it's just a natural reaction as I'm retreating from somebody. If I may have put my hand up, as he said, as he testified himself, I certainly am, I'm a law-abiding citizen, I don't break the law. So I would not have tried to assault an officer under any circumstances.
Is it possible that during the interaction there was inadvertent contact between you and the officer?
Sure, he decided to go hands-on with me when he was giving me unlawful commands. And there was absolutely no reason for it. I was willing to comply with anything he asked within reason, because I don't want to have a fist fight with another man on the street.
Do you recall the officer ordering you to go to his patrol vehicle?
I do.
And what did you do in response to that?
Initially, I told him no, but then when he began to get physical with me and start to grab me and touch me, I said, okay, I'll go over to your car. His car was 35 feet away. I then led him to his car. It's on video, you can see it. I would walk right up to his car, and then he insisted still on grabbing me. After he saw me pull out an additional phone, which that's what press people do. We have lots of cameras on us.
And did you inform the officer that you were a member of the press?
Oh, several times. It's in the transcripts. I've transcribed them myself. Several times I told him I'm a member of the press.
And did you explain to the officer that you have a background in constitutional law?
Yes, I told him I'm a constitutional law scholar, which was a moniker given to me by other people who are also, they have their own channels, their own press, and that's what some other lawyers on another channel called me 3 years ago.
So let me get this straight, Chille. You're a constitutional law scholar because somebody else on a different channel said you are. You're so full of it. Let's roll a clip just to dispel that notion.
I'm also a constitutional law scholar. I'm a constitutional law scholar, not a mathematician. So, okay. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm a constitutional law scholar. Terry equals immediate detainment unless you're a constitutional law scholar.
I'm broadcasting this message to my thousands of followers on YouTube. I'm a constitutional law scholar.
You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be a constitutional law scholar. Focus on the numbers. You don't have to be a constitutional law scholar. Let me ask you something. So I'm a constitutional law scholar. You see on the back of my Don't talk to them. You're not a constitutional law scholar. Yes, it is. Who's the constitutional law scholar and who's the cop? You know, I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm a constitutional law scholar.
So I'm not going to follow a mandate because I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm a constitutional law scholar. I teach civil liberties.
While yours says elementary school, mine says constitutional law scholar. You're a clown, dude. I'm a constitutional law scholar. A constitutional law scholar.
Just to get some, further background, were you looking for police to report on this particular day?
No, the cops hide on the side of the road to pull people over. It's pretty regular in our country. I was just in the parking lot there. I saw that Mr. Bork had somebody pulled over, concerned for her safety. I began to film.
And why do you think that law enforcement traffic stops are relevant to the public?
That's where most people get killed.
Objection relevance. To that question. Move to strike.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
State.
I have no questions for this witness.
Thank you. Sir, you may step down. This is defense trust?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Any argument by the state?
Your Honor, the state asks you to find the defendant guilty of both the obstructing a public officer as well as resisting a public officer charged against him. The video very adequately portrays, and I don't think it's disputed by the defendant, what the context was of the interaction with the officer. I would venture to say that had the defendant just complied with the original order to not engage with the driver and to back up, we wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have found himself further engaging with Officer Bork. This is not a First Amendment issue. As you heard over and over and over again on the video, Officer Bork did not have a problem with the defendant recording. It's not a First Amendment issue. It's an officer safety issue. Here you have an officer who conducted a lawful traffic stop. You saw the nature of the stop. There was no animosity between the officer and the driver. It was rather peaceful. They were engaged, banter back and forth. He would have, as he testified, he was trying to determine whether he was going to cite her or let her go with a warning. And then you have an individual, the defendant, introduce himself to a situation. Traffic stops, Your Honor, are inherently dangerous, particularly in crowded parking lots, or I guess anywhere, I would venture to say. This officer was reasonable in thinking that anyone who would approach in the manner that the defendant approached his scene would have a reason to fear for his safety, or at least be suspicious of this individual's motives coming in. The officer had no problem with the recording. The officer had no problem with the defendant observing. It was when he inserted himself into this lawful detention that was occurring with the Hyundai driver that the officer turned his attention onto the defendant. This is not a First Amendment issue. This is an individual who took what he perceived to be his rights too far. The officer was well within his right, as well as acting reasonably when he asked him to back up. That 21-foot rule, it's appropriate. He said that was the training that they received in terms of the distance that's allowed for someone who means to do them harm. It's a threat assessment. We don't know when the defendant approached whether he had a gun concealed, whether he had a knife concealed, whether he had other weapons. And you'll hear multiple times in the video, Officer Bork yelling, "Stop reaching, stop reaching." This is an unknown, when defense counsel asked Officer Bork all of these questions about how it is that you do this, and Officer Bork kept responding, it depends on the situation, it depends on the totality of the circumstances. Here was an officer acting alone, individually, engaged one-to-one with a driver that he had no problem with. You insert another individual who enters the scene in the manner that the defendant did, and now this officer's attention is going to be divided. He had every reason to fear for his safety as well as that of the driver. Again, if he had just complied with the officer's commands or demands to back up, and a lot was made about, hey, he didn't have an opportunity to tell the defendant exactly how far back. As the officer testified, even just with the, hey, back up, the defendant didn't back up, not willingly. That's why the officer had to continue to engage with him and force him into the situation. Had he complied, he would not have been charged with obstruction. Had he complied initially, he would not have been charged with the resisting. The officer was, you are going to have to assess credibility. There's nothing in the video or Officer Bork's testimony that would cause the court to question his veracity or his intention for that matter. He was very honest in that he didn't believe the defendant wasn't trying to harm him necessarily with the SWAT. That's why the defendant wasn't charged with the battery on a protected person or a police officer. But that SWAT, Your Honor, I would argue, was meant to resist. At that point in time, the officer was trying to detain him and subsequently arrest him on the obstruction as depicted in the video. And so at this point, I think we proved by beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant did hinder Officer Bork's investigation and detention of the Hyundai driver, and that he resisted the officer's arrest and or attempt to arrest him. And so we would ask that you find the defendant guilty of both.
Thank you.
We're not going to listen to Chille's long-winded attorney try to get him out of this because there is no getting out of it. He's guilty as charged. So let's skip to the sentencing phase because that's the good part. Roll that clip.
A few minutes later.
All right, Mr. DeCastro, please stand. The problem with the argument that your attorney makes is it completely fails to consider the safety of the officer and the safety of the driver. The officer doesn't know who you are, and the driver doesn't know who you are. And you don't have any right to interfere with that officer doing his investigation and deciding if he wants to issue a ticket to this driver. And you also don't have any business approaching the driver. The driver didn't ask you for help. The driver didn't say, help, help. You didn't see an altercation happening between the officer and this driver. The officer didn't protest that you were filming. There's no problem with filming. You can film. It's fine. All right? But you did interfere with his investigation. You did interfere with his ability to do his job. You did put him in a position where he is concerned for his safety and the safety of the driver. So I believe the state's met their burden beyond reasonable doubt. I'm going to find you guilty of obstructing a public officer and resisting a public officer. So I'd like to hear from the state and then your attorney prior to sentencing.
Your Honor, in terms of sentencing, I would ask that our defendant enter and complete an impulse control class. I would ask that the court lobby a $500 fine or the equivalent in community service. I would ask that the defendant be ordered to stay out of trouble for the pendency of the case. And I would ask for a 90-day suspended sentence. And that's on as to each count to one concurrent. That's our request. Thank you.
Take note that the prosecution is asking for a $500 fine and a 90-day suspended sentence in jail. And did you see the look on the judge when she said 90-day suspended sentence? The judge has something else in mind. Again, we're going to skip over the defense attorney. Let's get right to the crux of the matter.
A few minutes later.
When you say he doesn't wish to engage in any wrongdoing, it seems to me from observing him in the video that he wants this. He wants to get arrested. He wants to get into an altercation with police officers. He welcomes this. This helps his YouTube channel. He called the officers here in my courtroom today pigs. He called and he's nodding his head up and down. So apparently he hates every law enforcement officer in the United States. All right. Please stand up, sir. Are you finished with your request for credit for time served?
I would just emphasize, Your Honor, that the defendant testified and he sincerely believes that he is providing a public service when he reviews and films these incidents. I understand the court may have a different view of that, but when we're talking about First Amendment public policy issues such as supervising people involved in government, I think that is something the court can take into consideration, not to have a chilling effect on that. I'll spit on that, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. DeCastro, please stand. I hereby sentence you to 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 1, 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 2, to run consecutive for a total of 180 days in custody. Thank you.
Sentence suspended or?
Oh no, I'm going to start right now.
Can you put you please? I'm going to teach over check. This is a travesty of justice. Unbelievable. I don't like police. They put me in jail for half a year. How long have I been in the year? Just get in the car. Yeah, it's in the transfer. Can I give him my keys real fast? My keys are in there. In the car garage. They're inside my. Can I read it? No, in the briefcase. Yeah, I'll get your stuff. It's a minivan, some popcorn place on it. Get a hold of my assistant, James.
Now that's the true walk of shame right there, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't get any worse than that. Got his head down and he's walking back in torture cuffs. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to make him bend over, spread his butt cheeks, and look up there with a flashlight. Yeah, I bet you're going to love that, boy. Just to make sure he was in jail, I checked at the Clark County website, and there he is. He's an inmate. Oh, Chille, how embarrassing for you. Perhaps Chille should have brought his indestructible trifold to court. That might have helped him out a little bit. He could have showed the judge. Now, to finish up this video, let's take a look at a clip that got him into trouble. It's not the clip that just got him sent to jail for 180 days, but he has another hearing coming up for this video on May 1st. The lad just doesn't know when to shut his mouth. Let's roll that clip.
Can we help you?
You could just do your job, mind your own business. That's what you could do.
Excuse me?
I told you, I'd say it again, you could mind your own business. I'm doing my job. I appreciate your time. But just, if I was you, I'd just shut your mouth so I don't put you in your place. That's what I'd do if I was you. I'd shut up. If I was you. Unless you want to look like an idiot on YouTube.
We're still pretty close to the road, so let's push this out a little bit further.
If you just keep going that way for me, I'm okay if you video
No.
but video over there for me.
Don't tell me where to stand. I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm suing you guys for $5 million. I'll sue you for $5 million more.
Let's see if I have this right. A constitutional law scholar who's never won a lawsuit. Oh, and I'm telling you, Chille, you won't win the $5 million ones either. See, he's got 2 $5 million lawsuits filed in Las Vegas right now. They're going to laugh him out of court.
You don't have a right to tell me what to do.
I'm just asking you to
Shut
stand
your
over there.
piggish
We're
mouth.
still doing
And
it.
don't approach me. Shut your mouth.
Sir, do you see the crime
Shut
scene
your
tape over
mouth
there?
and shut your mouth.
Do you see
I'm
the
your
tape?
boss.
Do you see the tape
You
over
understand that?
Let's
Shut
go
your
back
mouth.
over
I'm
there.
walking down the street. Mind your own business.
No,
I'm just standing here. If you hadn't approached
I'm the
me,
sergeant.
don't come behind me, piggy. Okay? If you hadn't approached me, I don't give a damn what you are. You're not a sergeant. Shut your mouth. I'm here doing my job. I'm a member of the press. I invoke my First Amendment right.
Okay.
Now, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right, so don't ask me another question. Take 3 steps back, gentlemen. I'm not your suspect. Take 3 steps back from me.
Okay, so there's a crime scene tape
Take
over
3
there,
steps
and
back
you're
from
standing
me.
in a crime scene now,
I'm
so you
walking
need to
down the
leave.
street. I can walk
Okay.
anywhere I want. There's not crime
This is
scene
the
right
crime
here.
scene.
The crime tape would be over here then, wouldn't it, dunce cap?
Speaking of dunce cap, you're a member of the press, huh? Who do you work for? Oh, that's right. He's an independent jackwagon. Chille, I would have loved to seen him behind bars. He was behind bars for 12 hours. I bet he didn't run his smart mouth while he was in there, did he? He probably hid in the corner somewhere and prayed nobody would jump on him. Oh, he needed his mommy.
I get you didn't graduate from high
There's
school,
crime
did you?
scene tape right there, okay?
We're just asking you to
I don't
step
give a
over
rat's
there.
ass what you say. Do you understand that?
Sir,
I don't
you
care
don't have
what
to
you
make
say.
this
I'm not
difficult,
breaking
sir.
any laws. Make it difficult. If you'd mind your own damn business, we wouldn't be talking right now. If you hadn't opened your mouth, I wouldn't be talking to you.
I'm
just
what
filming
you're doing,
this.
and you're okay to film.
I'm a member of
I'm
the
just
press. I
asking to
told
film
you I
over
invoke
there.
my Fifth Amendment right. You have a right to ask me questions.
You have your.
I got the
film- you have
First
your
Amendment.
press
What are the
documents.
first 5 big freedoms of the
Where are
First
your press
Amendment?
You have your press
I'm a
documents, sir.
constitutional law scholar, you dunce cap. What's it like to
Sir,
be so stupid?
there's
I wonder what
crime
that's
scene
like.
tape right there,
What's
and
it
that's
like
where
to
you
be
need
a
to go.
moron?
You walked
What's it like to
underneath-
not know our
sir,
rights?
You walked underneath
Correct
the crime
him.
scene tape already, sir.
Hey, correct him, sir. Correct this man. Explain to him that he doesn't have a right. Don't
Sir,
put your hands on
you've
me.
already-
I would love to talk to one of the prosecuting attorneys and see what their opinion is when he says, I'm a constitutional law scholar. Well, hey, constitutional law scholar, the Fifth Amendment is for when you testify in court. It's not for when you're standing on the street corner. Yeah, you invoke the Fifth Amendment in a court of law because you don't want to incriminate yourself, you stupid law professor.
You walked
Are
across
you
the
gonna run
crime
over
scene
and grab
tape.
me? Are you gonna run over and grab me?
Sir, you've already.
Are you gonna run over?
Sir,
I'm walking down the street,
Keep
gentlemen.
walking,
I have a
gentlemen.
right to film this.
Keep
You
walking.
understand that?
I understand.
I have a right
I'm
to film
asking
this.
you to
If you
film
touch
over
me,
there.
I will sue you. I
You're
sue
more than
you cops
crime
every
scene tape
time.
already, sir.
I was walking down the street. I have a right to do so.
Okay, but we
There's
are
crime
telling
scene
you
tape.
that you need to
Your
continue
cop told me to walk
walking.
over here. I have it on video.
Okay, and I understand that.
You're confronting me when you should be working on your job.
If you
I love when frauditors say, I'm the boss. I'm your boss. You work for me. Not likely, Chille. I don't know. Are you living in Nevada now? You bozo? Yeah, he's not a boss. He's a bozo. Lives in his van. Doesn't even have a permanent residence. You're a pitiful little man, Chille.
Go ahead and arrest me and find out how quick I sue your ass.
Sir,
Just do it.
Okay.
Okay, I have to
Go
walk
across-
the other
go to
way,
the crime
so I'm
scene
going to
tape,
be
sir.
walking over here.
go to the crime scene tape, sir.
Don't tell me what to do.
please go that way.
Don't tell me what to do.
Then let's just
You're
start
not my
walking.
boss.
I'm giving you a lawful order. Let's start walking now. Let's go. We're going this
Are
way.
you going to put your hands on me now? Leave me
Well,
alone.
listen, sir,
Don't-
this way.
Well, don't touch me, dude.
I'm just
Dude, I'm just standing here.
escorting you
I'm
to
just
where you
stand-
need to go.
Are you guys going to surround me? Leave me alone.
I am escorting you to where
There's
you
no
need
reason
to
to
go.
do this. I'm not trying to fight anybody.
I'm
There's
not
no
saying you're
victim
doing
here.
it.
There's no crime. You're just trying to dominate another
Let's do
person.
the- go to
Just
the crime
leave
scene
me
tape, sir.
alone. Okay, I can leave, but you don't have to walk up on
then
me.
let's go. You haven't
So
left
what's
yet.
the emergency? Is there an
Because
emergency?
we-
Somebody's
You're
dead,
trying
sir. Is
Okay,
that enough emergency
but
for
where
you?
are they at?
Let's go.
Where are they at? Where they at? Are they right here?
Let's go, sir.
Am I causing any problems?
Frauditors always talk about de-escalation, but Chille, no, he wants to escalate. He's the one that's causing the problem right now, and it's all for clicks and views. It's all for the camera. It's all for YouTube.
Sir, let's go.
The only thing you're doing is losing your cool, acting like an idiot.
The crime scene is
You're
right here.
acting like
Let's
a
go.
dunce cat.
Let's go, sir.
You're on camera
The crime scene
acting
is right
like a
here, sir. Let's
moron,
go.
bro.
Come on, sir.
No, look at this. I got 1, 2,
No, we're
3, 4
escorting
cops.
to make
For
sure you
what?
leave
What good's it
the
doing?
area.
What good's it doing?
Just go in
You don't
there
need to
inside the
escort me.
crosswalk.
Go back to where
You
you're
just haven't
going.
left
I'm
yet.
walking. I'm walking right now.
Now let's
Oh,
go.
now you're threatening me with violence. Now this guy's threatening me with violence.
Come on, let's
Let's go,
walk.
sir.
Now they're pushing me. Look at their hands all over me. Look at that. Look at that.
You're right.
All,
We're escorting you.
don't touch me, boys. Don't. What are you?
Well, there you have it, good people. Stupid is as stupid does, and they don't get much more stupid than Chille de Castro with his trifold, his indestructible trifold. Yeah, you picked on the wrong ones today, Chille. 12 hours behind bars. Too bad you couldn't do longer. Could have got to know Bubba and the boys. Well, at any rate, if you enjoy watching stupid people do stupid things on my channel, this is the place for you. And please subscribe. As always, thanks so much for stopping by, Chille. You want to file another false copyright strike, sweetheart? Feel free. Cheers to that.
I've actually studied English, and I have over a 400 level education in English. I'm not sitting down. I refuse to sit down. I refuse. Big tough guy. Big tough guy. Big tough guy. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Nothing. You can come try to make me. You're welcome to try to make me. Take a swing. Take a swing.
What is the reason for calling the officers here?
No reason I'm really unhappy that somebody did this to me.
I'm going to arrest you for trespassing in a minute.
On public property?
Yeah, we're asking you to leave and you're not leaving. That's trespassing.
She's right in my face, guys. You can't come up and touch me like that.
You don't have permission to film me in any space.
I don't need permission to
Yes, you do.
record you in public, man.
Actually,
No, that's
you
the
do.
law.
Oh, is that like a law? Oh, what law is that? Funny, because I've never heard about that. I pay for that uniform, I pay for that car, I'm the taxpayer, right? You work for me, right? You're just a little guy. You're just a little guy. You work for me. You are a public servant. You are a public servant. You work for me.